Good evening, everybody. It's really nice to see you. Okay, those of you, yeah, only one video is on Master Do. Can you just wave? The rest, at your yeah. Thank you. The rest can also at the reaction. Just put a wave, and I know that you are here. Okay, anybody? Yeah, we have yeah, Big Chief. Yeah, Vincent. Thank you. Some of you just wave in your reaction. Wonderful, huh? Today we're gonna have an exciting time. I was just thinking. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, Kelvin. I was just thinking, that did I miss out anything in terms of our lesson? If I can use that word. What about today? We want to talk on what are the core coaching skills. Core coaching skills. All right. Basically, today we will talk on two things. All right. Two things. Basically, it's very important for us to know what we call as active listening, and also asking powerful question. All right. Asking powerful question. All right. So, listening. Are you listening? Right? Are you listening to what I say? Or are you hearing? Yeah, what there's a kind of a difference between hearing and listening. All right. Maybe I will ask some of you to unmute if it is possible. Any one of you would like to answer if I were to ask you the question, what is the difference between listening and hearing, right? Listening and hearing. Any one of you would like to share to us, how do you see listening and hearing? Anyone? Unmute yourself, please. Anyone would like to share?
Yes,
Angelina?
it's Angelina. Yeah. So hearing is just merely hearing noises or our surroundings, but listening is really listening, paying attention. Then that means when you're listening, you read from every sense. You see. So you will read from either the body language or anything else, and you will understand what is it that the person is trying to tell you, rather than just hearing.
Hmm. Anybody else? Anybody else having would want to share how you understand hearing and listening?
Hearing is just hearing the voice, the noise, but listening is perceiving what's the message is all about. So it's a different focus.
Yeah. More like you might want to pay a bit more attention, right, to what was said.
Correct. Yeah.
Good. Okay, Yuk Lim, as I was saying, hearing is through ears, but listening is through the mind. Wow, powerful, huh? Hearing with your ear, listening with your mind. Wow, I like that. Anybody else? Stephen Covey said this: most people don't listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Do you agree or don't agree? Okay. All right. Many times people just, when they hear something, they don't hear the whole thing. They just listen, they listen, and then they reply, respond when some words are triggered. You know, let's say I just a good example. Let's say if I want to tell you the story about I driving to Johor, my whole intention is to tell you what happened to Johor, right? So at that time, oh, yeah, Benjamin, let me take you for one example. Since just now you answer this example. Oh, Benjamin, you know, I was driving to Johor and I was driving my car Proton Saga. Then you straight away jump in. Well, wow, you talk about Saga, Proton Saga. I want Proton Saga also. But the story was not about Proton Saga. The story was about Johor Bahru. Okay. You get it? You know, so some people, they have that thing. They reply or they respond too fast. You see. So one of the traits of being a good leader is to be able to understand what people say. Later you will see, maybe not today, maybe next week, right? Talking about area of grow, GROW. That's a very powerful way. I'm going to show you what is this GROW, grow. Maybe you're thinking, hey, grow lah, grow up lah, grow up lah. It's more than that, all right? This grow, we use this model to coach people asking questions. Today, we will not be doing anything like ask how to ask question. We will not, but rather tell you the importance of listening well and also asking powerful questions. All right, and then next week I'm going to show you how to ask good question. All right. So most people don't listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. How true it is, right? You know, it's so important. Number one, to listen. Second, important to hear, to understand. Listen and understand, right? Sometimes can be so true, right? That it's so difficult to get somebody to listen to you. Hello, so please. One thing to listen, and two to get advice. See, and what I would see now in the world is that it's very difficult to get people to listen to you. Basically, maybe because people are busy, they don't have an intention to listen to you. They'll come to you and say that, hey, look, I'm busy. Or maybe you want to tell them your problem. Look, my problem can be bigger than your problem. Okay. So listening is really an art. It's an art. The art, we call it the art of listening. See? What happened to people? You can yell and yell and yell. It's just that they are just not so interested. You can share your thoughts. You can share whatever you want to say. Somehow it just doesn't go through. Doesn't go through. See, and probably on one side is that listen to me. I want you to listen to me. But this hero mentality, maybe I'll take a bit time to explain this, what we call as a hero mentality. I'm right. I'm always right. You better listen to me. This is how you should do. You know, blah, 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 blah. And tell, you know, maybe one guy said that I am so frustrated. My work is terrible. And then the hero mentality, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you should be more hardworking. You should learn to please your boss. You should be early to work. You should be late to go home, whatever. You know, we don't tell people. We thought we are giving people the solution. Maybe we are not. All right? We are not. We are too quick to reply. But are we really listening to the person? Oh, I hate my job. Why? So next part is we ask powerful question. Number one, they say, I hate my job. Now, what are you going to do? Are we going to advise them? Yo, you shouldn't hate your job. Your family needs your money. Or whatever, blah, 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 go on. But do we sit down and ask them why? You see? And if we keep on nagging or advising, we thought, quote and unquote, advising, oh, you shouldn't quit, your family needs your money and all those stuff like that. They begin to think, I'm right, you're wrong. It's not that. Then what would our response be for the hero mentality? Listen to me, you must listen to me. You must listen to me. And you realize that each person, we have our own filters. Do you realize that? All of us will have a different filter, how we respond to people, especially when people are saying things that are subjective. Example, if I would tell you, guy, a friend, today is very hot. Well, what do you mean by hot? Some of you, you have relatives coming from cold places, Europe. Some of your friends, your relative come to Malaysia. They say, so hot, right? To you, yeah, I know it's hot, but not as hot as you say hot. What do you mean by hot? I'm perspiring. I also perspire, but as I understand, my perspiration, I'm sweating, is not something bad. But to them, it's, oh yeah, it's hot. Look at me perspiring, whatever. You see, all depends your filters, and all of us, we wear our lenses. Just imagine, your glasses. Many of you wear glasses. If you wear glasses, if you wear blue glass, whatever you say is blue. Whatever you see is blue. If you wear red, whatever you see is red. Filter. We have this mentality, not mental blockage, but rather a mentality of how we see things. So this is very, very important for us to realize. And probably another part of my training, we call it the EQ, emotional quotient. We call it the EI, emotional intelligence, is self-aware, right? Self-aware. Self-aware is you realize why you behave the way you behave. So if I say that the weather is hot, so what is my behavior? I may get frustrated. I may bang the table, whatever, say, why the weather is so hot? But I didn't realize that I was acting, or rather, I didn't realize that I can choose another feeling, another emotion. Instead of getting frustrated because of the weather is so hot, I can choose. Maybe I go somewhere that is cooler. Maybe I stay indoor. Maybe I turn on the fan bigger or something. See, so being self-aware of yourself, you see. So what I'm trying to say is we have filters, all of us. So that's why, because we have filters, the way we listen, what we receive from the speaker may be different from what he is trying to say. Can you say? All right. I'd like to pause for a while. If any one of you have any question, you can either type or you can unmute and share a little bit. How do you understand this filter when we listen to people and when we speak? Or are we okay? If we are okay, I will continue. All right.
Alex, Encik Saleh is trying to.
Yeah, correct. He also texts me. Yeah, he'll text me. Yeah. So thanks. I think you told. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll wait for him to come in, probably. Right. So what is the effect of a good listening? If you listen well, individuals will feel understood and valued. Correct? They feel it. They know that You know, whatever they share is not wasted, because we have a friend that is willing to listen to them. All right. Somebody gave let me see. Somebody shared something here. Okay. Yeah, I like this word. I like this word very, very much. Joshua. Joshua was saying that the same as selective listening. Okay. Many of us, we have what we call as a selective listening. Yeah. We choose to listen what we want to hear, or what we want to hear, right? Are you hearing me? Maybe somebody calling from kitchen. Honey, can you go and buy? Can you go and buy sugar? You are still busy watching your favorite show, probably. After half an hour, have you bought the sugar? Huh? You say something, what? You didn't hear me? No, I didn't hear you. I shouted so loud from the kitchen, you didn't buy it. No, selective listening. Okay. Yeah, just to add a little bit to what Joshua you say, like what we did, the exercise about kinesthetic, auditory, and also visual. Many people, including me, right? Sometimes we cannot pay attention too long, and after a certain time, our mind goes somewhere else, and we shut off. Especially if we sense the person is repeating, or we sense the person is not so not so, the thing that they shared is not so interesting anymore. We kind of shut off, and we begin to, our mind begin to go somewhere else. All right, I have this problem. So what I do to help me, I write down notes. Whatever people say, I write down. And not only that, after certain time, I would rephrase. Like, okay, Joshua, I give as an example, all right? Let's say you are sharing something to me, and I write down. And I after certain time, I will repeat, Joshua, is that what you mean when you say about this and that and this, you know, just to assure. All right, then you will say, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, fine. So I write down, you know, so that I would, number one, I will pay attention. Number two, I am telling the individual, you know, that I understand what you say and I value what you say. You know, people need that kind of feelings, right? So effective, good listening will also, you know, give people the opportunity to state their thoughts and feelings. Now, you see, Joshua, if I begin to pay attention to what you say, you probably, just probably, okay, I believe you would want to share more to me. All right, then I would guide you more, and you share your thoughts and feelings. Before I have done this before, and even guys, you know, who says guys don't cry? Okay. So I ask question, and eventually when they pour out, they cry. They, something, not that they cry because of very sad or whatever, it's just that emotion comes in, you know, to what they are going through, and number one, things they go through, and number two, where they want to go, you know, right? And somehow they are saying that something is blocking them. All right. Oh. Right, let me repeat that. In coaching, I will always tell people is that all about you, coachee, nothing about me. So we give chance to people to speak. That's why we write down notes. All right, write down notes. All right, but in this level of listening, intolerant, we don't give chance to people to speak. No. So it's like we're giving the impression, yeah. I know what you're saying. I know what you are going to say. I haven't even say anything yet. No. I know what you're going to say, so no need to say so long. So eventually, intolerant listener will jump into conclusion and will keep on interrupting. We call it, right? Jump into conclusion and keep on interrupting. See, all right. So that is what we call as an intolerant listener. Now, what about non-listening? Non-listener, you know, we just hear, one ear in and one ear out. Right. So it's quite embarrassing. if the speaker were to ask the listener, "Are you hearing me? Huh? What do you say just now? I missed it. Oh my." Okay. So they are not paying attention to what people say. Now, what about active listening? An active listener is attentive and fully engaged. I like this very, very much. Attentive and fully engaged. They show interest and keep on with the conversation. That's why, like I said earlier, active listener ask questions. And not only that, they ask to clarify points in order to understand it better. You get it? Ask question and to clarify points to understand better. Right. And we have other people they call like subconscious listening. Subconscious listener is able to sense what is not being said and to get the feel of the conversation. EQ comes in. I want to encourage some of you, right, to understand a little bit more about EQ. It's something, like I say, it's not very popular now. It's picking up very fast. Coaching is also something quite new to us, Malaysian. EQ also very new, but it's picking up very, very fast. This subconscious is we are letting people know that we, because everything is about feelings, right? To let people know how we understand their feelings, they can continue to share, right? So that is to let them know feelings, right? Next one is what we call as an empathetic, which is very close. In EQ, we learned about empathy. Empathy or empathetic listening. Empathy is about understand people, where they come from, what angle, right? So that's very, very important. So being a coach, you're called to understand people better. An empathetic listener shows understanding of the topic from the viewpoint of the speaker. Understands. That's why we ask questions. You know, we use reflective statements like we want clarity, right? So we ask questions like, you know, so we tell them that you feel that something happened, blah 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 blah. Statement like that. You know, you feel that emotion comes in, how you feel. You know, so so we go deeper, deeper emotions. Like for example, like I told you earlier, oh, Malaysia is so hot. Actually, what are you saying? Are you saying that Malaysia is so hot until it can melt your plastic? Is that? Or rather, it's so hot that make you stressful or make you uncomfortable. Now that's feelings. Yeah, you're touched on another issue altogether, right? Can you see that? Okay, how powerful assertive, we call it assertiveness, we call it the asking question is, right? Isn't it? Right? Or understanding people, you know. And next level is what we call as a positive listening. Positive listener responds by giving encouragement, using supportive statements, making encouraging noises. You know, sometimes with your body language, you give the impression that you are interested in what they say. They say, like, that's interesting. Not shocked, don't shock them. What? Wow, ooh, wow. No, that is a bit too exaggerating. Okay? I don't think they like that. I don't mean that. Why you sound so shocked? Yeah, I'm shocked when you say that. Oh, I don't think they like it. Okay, you just positive listening. I see. I'm getting you. I'm listening. And when speakers, when the coachee were to let you know, tell you that something that they have done well, you you congratulate them. You praise them. Ah, good. Wow, good job that you have done. Hey, coach, today I for the first time in my life, I cook for my dad, Wow, hey, that's great, man. You should celebrate or something like that, Give them the impression that you are actually paying attention. Positive, see, positive, not negative, but rather positive. So far, are we doing okay? All right. Any one of you would like to say anything, stop me, or whatever? So far, are we okay? All right. Yeah. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Nobody want to say anything? Stop. Okay. No, huh? All right. So we continue. Listening. What are some of the what you call that ways to show that you are active in listening? Positive. We call this the open posture, like how you sit. All right. I gave you a very simple picture about these two guys, how they sit. They're not facing like direct, they're like sideways 45 degrees. And also sometimes I may not want to be so near with the person, at least 1 meter or 1.5 meters away, close enough, right? Close enough to hear one another, far enough not to have those like bad breath or whatever saliva. Some people are speak saliva fly one. Okay. Right. So we distant a bit lah. Keep the distance, comfortable distance. All right. So open posture talks about the degree of openness in your heart. Try not to cross your arm folded, leg folded, leg cross, they call it. Some of this posture may give a kind of a negative connotation. All right. Big Chief, I see your hand raised. Would you want to say something?
No, I accidentally pressed it.
Since you already,
Continue.
yeah, continue. say something lah. Okay.
Now I would like to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
How do you how do you treat a person who asks probably intolerant listener? How do you treat that case as a coach?
How do I
handle the
handle
intolerant listener?
Intolerant. How do I handle intolerant? Okay. Now that is one of a very tricky question, because only the coachee know of an intolerant listener, right?
Let's say you are coaching, you are the coach.
Yes.
Okay, the coachee keeps on intercepting and interrupting your questions and stuff like that. So how do you handle it?
Okay. Actually, we are referring to the other way around. Intolerant listener actually talks about the coach, that we cut off the coachee when they speak. Not we as coach speaking, and actually coach speaks very, very minimal. Number two, usually we only ask question, and our question is also very short question. Like, just give an example. One statement, just one question, like, what is stopping you? That's all. That's all.
Because I know coaches who very talkative.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that may bore or cause the coachee to be intolerant.
Yeah. Correct. Agree. So we shouldn't be. Just right
Anyway,
now. Yeah. Sorry. Are you saying something?
sorry.
No, you're
No,
right.
but anyway, thanks for the answer lah.
No. Yeah. That is a good thought. It's a reminder for us as coach or leader. We are called to listen well, not to respond. You see. The problem is that like you say, many coaches that we know that speak a lot. That's why a lot of coaches we get too excited and we want to tell people, and actually that is not coaching, that is counseling. Counseling or consultation. All right, Big Chief, you got this problem. Okay, you do this A B C D all these things. So that's not a coach. So you want somebody to consult. I mean, you want somebody to counsel you. You look for a counselor. You got a problem. You want a consultation. You go to a consultant. Not a coach. We don't do those jobs. Like last week we were saying, see, a coach does not need to be an expert in that field. You see, so if I'm not expert in that field, how can I consult you? How can you consult me? I cannot give you a good answer. Maybe some of you engineer, you want to build a house. I'm not an engineer. So then look for the consultant. Don't look for me. Okay. So my job is a coach. I can still coach you as an engineer. You'll be surprised. You see. So our role different. See. All right. Angelina, correct me if I'm wrong. Some coaches make you feel worse. Exactly. That's why you realize that this session is so important. Even when I prepare my lesson, I feel convicted many times. My goodness, I've done that. You mean I did that? I feel so bad. So I change. I learn. My job is not to make people feel worse. All right. In fact, it will be next week, next Tuesday or the week after that. Next week, we'll talk about what kind of question to ask people. All right. And every session, they feel that they have moved. You don't have to feel good. I'm not here to make you feel good. My job is to bring you from point 1 to point 2. And if you think that the point 2 is too far away, fine. Then why don't you go to point 1, point 1? Take small steps. If you manage to go for point 1, at the point 1.1, you have actually progressed. Small, slow, but you progress. Better than you stay there, right? So and Angelina, you give a very, very good point. Okay, Mike, let me show you another thing, just a thought, just a thought. Like whiteboard. Okay, many times we tell people that to go from point A to point B. Fair enough. But to some people, their point B is just too far, too much. They don't know how to go, right? Why don't we help people to go point A1, A2, A3 before they reach B? You get what I'm trying to say? Another thing you like to know is that if we were just to take small step of 1%, to many people, 1% is like, what is 1%? Small thing. But you would be surprised if I tell you, if you take extra 1%, now 1% is about like, if 1% is actually 1 divided by 100, right? Okay, somebody can help me if I'm wrong. It's actually equals to 0.01. Fair enough, right? Now, if you take small step, take very small step, which is 1%, you're actually doing like 1.01, right? Because all the while you've been doing 1.1, but now you add that 0.01% there, and you are doing taking extra step. You don't realize that with that 1.01, and you do it every day, create something new. Right? You actually has changed close to 37%, you know. If you learn something new every day, I hope today you learn something new. All right, and every day you would do something new, you actually in 1 year, you actually have become another person. You've grown, you know, without you realizing. Sometimes you don't realize, you know, we actually have changed. All right, do you all get what I'm trying to say? All right, you just try that. Very interesting, very interesting. You find out that. So I hope that, you know, we can learn something and we can help someone in that term. Okay, any question, anyone? Okay, all fine. Number 2, lean. We use the word lean in. This is what we call as the body language. Body language. Okay, how you know, the way you sit, posture, which is quite similar to open posture, but this is your body, how you know. Okay. All right. Yeah, we still have some people coming in because they were in another training just now. You guys are fantastic, you know, so hardworking. MCO, our prime minister say, duduk diam-diam. You guys not duduk diam-diam, you know, you guys are duduk but buat kerja begitu rajin. I like your spirit. Lean. Now, next one is what we call as the eye contact. I think this one covered when we were doing counseling, art of counseling. We do that this before, right? Eye contact. I'm not asking you to look directly at people's eye that you scare them, right? Neither am I asking you to look away. When people talk to you, you know, let them know that you are paying that you are paying attention to what they say. I think that is very important. Very important. Hang on, I missed it. Somebody was trying to say something, and how come I cannot get what they say? So next one is relax. Let people feel relaxed. Maybe you want to ask question or something, you know, that I have a new friend also here, Mr. Sid, Jason Sid. Yes, I'm a life coach. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for coming in. Right. Jason, you may have missed the first part. Like I say, I really admire you guys. You know, you guys are hardworking. Just now you were somewhere else, another training. Now you come to this training. Wonderful. I recorded this session. Even though maybe you missed the earlier part, you can always go back to the recording. All right. Later, I will give the link to you. Right. So 4th point is relax. Make people feel relaxed. When people are relaxed, people will tend to share things to you more. You will be surprised. I am surprised. I was surprised when people begin to pour their heart out. You know, like I told you, some of the guys that I talked to, they cry, they share about their life, what they want to do in 20 years time. Some of the young guys are 25 years old, whatever. 20 years time when you're 45, Then they ask me, how to imagine in 20 years time. Wild imagination, so we laugh. Doesn't matter. You won't tell me, hey, nice to see you. Now I got 5 kids, so write down. Wild imagination. You see, when you begin to visualize, when you begin to imagine 20 years from now, you are actually taking steps to that. Your job is to guide people in that. Have a good laugh. Let them relax. So when they are relaxed, they begin to share to you more things. Don't condemn them. When they share, not. Say something, some short verbal expression. I'm hearing you, like giving them a sign of understanding. Yes, I'm hearing you. I know what you're talking about. Not agreeing. You don't have to agree. If they say something, about anything, the weather here is very hot. Yeah, I agree or disagree. Don't do that. Or they talk about somebody, they criticize somebody. Oh yeah, true. The person is like that, so you agree. We don't have the privilege to agree. We only have the privilege to understand what they say. Then we ask more questions. Next week we will do that, asking question, okay? And about our facial expression. Let me tell you one thing. Your face does not lie. Let me tell you that. Your face doesn't lie. Same thing people say before. Telephone doesn't lie. When you call somebody, when they answer you, all right, you know what is their feelings. I don't know how many of you agree with me. All right. If any one of you disagree, just raise your hand, unmute yourself. I disagree. Phone can lie one, not necessary. When you pick up the phone, you call somebody, hello friend, their tone, you know how they feel sometimes. All right. So your face doesn't lie. Please remember, don't show your shocking look. Like that? Ayo. Don't show that. But rather, not relaxed mood. Remember, we were talking about kinesthetic listening. Maybe silence is that. What I do, like I told you earlier, I write down notes. So silence, not necessarily silence as quiet or whatever, but actually you are paying attention and also you are writing down notes. That's what you are doing. Okay, all right. Nancy Klein say this: the quality of your attention determines the quality of other people's thinking. Can you see that, not? Yeah, can you see that? All right. So thinking, people's thinking. Okay. So there are these 2 words, like powerful listening is basically reflecting and reframing. Reflecting is you tell people, you reflect when people tell you something, you responding by telling them, do you mean this way? Yeah, that's what I say. And reframing, frame what they say, not necessarily agree or disagree. Right? Do we have any